Hey, what's up, everyone? This one will be a little dark in here because it's an odd hour where I live, and I'm not trying to wake up the puppy. The title is The Philosophy of Gnosis, and it will be just a couple ideas that I had about the way that people communicate and what knowledge is. And there's always this perception that people have an innate knowing of something. And what is it? Like, people talk about absolute truth versus the truth that you might have versus, so it's these objective and subjective principles of how the universe works. Yeah, because it's a philosophy. It's a philosophy of Gnosis. I could have the same amount, I could have the same kind of, the same type of, the same generalization of Gnosis or knowledge or knowing as someone else, but it could be completely different. It could be a different truth. It could be a different knowing. So in that we find that everything is philosophy because it appears, it seems as such. I say this in a lot of my videos. It appears to be. It seems to be. This is courtesy of Robert Anton Wilson. This is courtesy of I Seem to Be a Verb, Buckminster Fuller, which is the idea that if you say something seems to be, or it appears to be, or you speak in E prime, as Robert Wilson spoke about, that there's always, you're at 99% capacity. Maybe I'll retitle this as the 99 percenters, the 99% capacity, which is being so absolutely sure, but always just leaving a little bit of room before an improvement on thought or what is possible or what it is. It's like right now most people are 100% sure of everything. We're 100% sure that we can't levitate. So that keeps us on the ground. Most people are 100% sure that gravity exists even though it's a theory. Most people that believe in the Bible are 100% sure that Jesus Christ is their Lord and Savior, right? People that like the science thing, they have their scientism and their God of science, and they're 100% sure that if they read a study that was done through Scientific America, they read the scientific journals and the literature, they believe with 100% certainty that that is such. And so in that amount of arrogance, and I say that in the most polite way, to be so sure of something with 100% assurance that they leave out all room for any other possibility. And it is, while that's to a great degree, you follow your dreams and you're certain of these things, and you just that's what you'll have if you believe it, if you truly believe it with complete faith, with complete belief, with complete just there it is, you'll have it. And that's a great idea. That's a great thing. But if you have that, then you're stuck there. You're stuck with that. That is the final solution to everything. Where if you're 99% sure, just that little bit of a crack in the door and a little bit of opportunity, that's the point of the I seem to be, or it appears to be, or maybe it seems so. This kind of it's like this. Your experience is based on either knowing or feeling. And these are the two aspects of the world. These are the two things that you see. Mama feels everything. Daddy knows everything. See? He's certain. Here's how we do this. That just get in the car. We're going. Here's the map. We're going from here to here to here. And that's the roadmap for the universe. And Mom's sitting there just like, nope, feeling it out. What's up, Illumis? Imam was feeling it out, and these are the two divergent. These are the two black and white. These are the two energies of the universe. One is pushing and one is pulling. One is introspective, one is external, right? They're just putting it out there. And this is the male and female. There you go. Yeah, it's black on purpose, y'all. It's black because it's dark where I am. Yeah, it's you're looking at what I'm looking at. My eyes are closed, so I figured you should see what I see. What's up, Sonos Logos? It's a pleasure. And as always, thank you for what you do for me. I appreciate it. So, back to spiral back into this little thought pattern I had for people. These two channels of communication that the human being receives are masculine and feminine, are introverted and extroverted. They're finding a way to see levitation. Going back to the beginning, the idea of how to levitate is having electricity and magnetism do the opposite thing that they're supposed to. Like, look at you. You look there at that sun and that moon in the sky, and you're like, all right, well, I guess I'm on board with the whole concept that the Earth is flat and there's some sort of electrical universe happening here. But that shit there is levitating. It's hovering. It's like a hoverboard. It's Back to the Future. It's like it's sitting there, like way up in the sky, spinning around inside of this thing. And how did it get there? How does it maintain its position in the, as a sun or a moon or whatever it is? How does it sit there? Why doesn't it fall out of the sky? Even if you believe we're following the sun through some universal heliocentric model, that something exploded and the sun was created, but it was doing these perfect spiraling backflips through the galaxy. Even if you believe that, there's got to be, like, how did it get there, man? It's kind of doing something. It's got some energy and some spiraling vortex. You get to that. But if we, get to the baseline where we are. I look up and I'm like, the sun and the moon are the same size. They're kind of just hovering there in the sky. How do they do that? How do they levitate? And it's basically taking the concept of the masculine and feminine, which is electric and magnetic, and inverting them, doing the opposite thing that they're supposed to. And that's how the mind works too. The mind field of the universe, the mind field of how everybody plays around in this dimension. Getting back to the beginning, as I like to always tell a story in a way that I come back to where I started at the beginning of the story, saying this: the idea is that we need to have. It seems to be, we need to have a philosophy of Gnosis. You can't have Gnosis. You don't. Everybody's always like, we're on this. We are statisticians. We are the knowledge keepers. Like, what is the knowledge though? What is the knowledge? You don't know a damn thing. You know dog shit, and that's the truth. Nobody knows anything. Because as soon as I close my eyes, I'm like, okay, it's dark now. Shit, where are we? What's going on here? And then you wake up and you're like, oh. Here's the set of rules and boundaries and obligations and status quos and and then I do wonder. You look around and you go, but all of these people, they're kind of doing things that are semi like, I can't. Are you allowed to do that? Is that okay? And then you watch all these people having this fun old good old time. They're doing things that are, tiptoeing the line and just doing some weird shit. And like, but they're doing it. Is that the truth? Was the truth the law? Is the truth obligation? Is the truth? And then you go through these things like, how is the law in South Dakota different than the law in Ireland? So it must not be a law then. It's a suggestion. And so we get back to the beginning again, and we say, what is the suggestion? What is the philosophy? Because the philosophy is a suggestion. So what is the truth? Is the truth the law? No, it can't be. Because it was a philosophy to begin with. The philosophy of what you do. Look, if you were born as, say you had to sit in a wheelchair all day. Let's try this. Let's completely a child that came out the womb that had that extra arms or two heads or a Siamese twin or you know, that the right arm kind of, you're missing a couple things there and it kind of, you know, and you don't look like everybody else. What happens is you're given and asserted special privileges based upon the way that society perceives you. Because you're interesting. You're like, hold on, what is the, okay, well, he's special. He can do anything he wants. And then we give these special privileges to people that look or sound or are interesting. And so is that the truth? So it seems like special is the truth too. It seems like normal is normal for everybody else with their gnosis, their knowledge. Here's how it works. Here's what's going on in the universe. But then I go look over here and I'm like, well, this person over here is doing something completely different that kind of is against the whole philosophy and idea that everybody else has. So what do they know that you don't know? What do you know that I don't know? What everybody here universally in this room knows a lot of different things. And there's a lot of overlap of what I know and what you know. But it's all philosophy. It's all a consideration of saying, well, shit, when I'm sitting there on a bench when I'm 98 years old and there's the big oak tree and I'm looking all decayed like Tesla in his later years, just sitting there and the squirrel comes over and I'm just sitting there. What is my knowledge at that point? What do I know? And what is it? What is of value? What has, I mean, there I am on that bench. There you are. So all of the things you thought you knew are completely invalid. They're invalid. Go swimming. Everything you think you know about how to breathe and what muscles to use, your knowledge is nothing. Your knowledge is nothing if you're swimming because you're a land-based creature, right? So the knowledge that a hawk has swimming doesn't work too good, right? It's a completely different environment. So again, this goes back to what do you think you know, and what is your philosophy on what you know? If you know that everything is in motion, everything seems to be moving, then you can kind of like, hey, well, just continue on this little thing that I think I know. So that's what I had to say about that. See who's in here. Let me. I'm gonna go through and read whatever your comments are right now, y'all. Yes, it is a black screen in here. What's up, Steve P? What's up, Magida Muso? Of course. The electrical universe, exactly, Jennifer Bowman. Inversely, there must be a magnetic universe as well, right? See, women will find themselves understanding the concept of an electrical universe because they're intuitive and it makes sense. But to call something the electrical universe, which I mean, I love the concept and I think it makes a lot of sense. The principality is still, if we dig really deep into this philosophy, it's still patriarchal, because electricity is patriarchy. Why wouldn't it be called the magnetic universe? Why? Because the people that propped up that idea are men. Now they're more right in what's going on and how it works than anybody else has really pointed out. The only other people you could probably look into would be like Walter Russell or maybe Hilton Hotima or something like that. You could get into their work. But the electric universe is saying the one thing is electricity. And I say, well, actually, nah, I think the one thing is magnetic. Because magnetism is where it's at. Magnetism is the magi. It's the it's the mother. Now, but if someone says that, then we have, how dare we put a principle of the feminine on things? But it should be noted that the duality that people speak about is not an opposition, but a complementary mechanism of electrical and magnetic. But The electric universe is the magnetic universe. If somebody writes the book called The Magnetic Universe, you'll just by proxy, you'd probably make a couple bucks. So whoever wants to write that book, feel free. Use me as a reference or a resource, and you can just pay me because you're a good person. So feel free. Write the Magnetic Universe book. Jennifer Bowman, the fallen goddess scenario says the sun is a female star. The sun is the sun is an electrical principle. It's the sun is very patriarchal in every way. Obviously, the word is sun, so therefore, and the sun is producing and spitting forth the light and the energy of electricity. So, no. I don't agree with that completely. I mean, whoever said that, I would probably need to read a little more on that. The fallen goddess. The goddess never fell. The goddess was always the earth. The goddess was always underneath. You know, the missionary's position, the mission of the entire world, and it's called Miss Zion, which means misillusion. So the mission of the electrical universe is for the electricity or the spirit to impregnate the object or the physical matter, the material, the my universe. That's what happens. Yeah, sympathize with Sophia's plight. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I dig the story. I haven't read what's the book? What should I look into to read that? Because it sounds interesting, but it's not completely right. Sonos Logos, conscious light has the capacity to become what it's not. There you go. Yeah, and going back to the beginning, as long I think consciousness is really the concept that there is 99% certainty. If you're 100% certain of something, that's not consciousness, that's religion, you know? There's no room for improvement. If you think there is perfection, if you think there is an absolute, then you can't improve upon it. If you can't improve upon it, then there is no exploration. If there's no exploration, there's no adventure. If there's no adventure, there's no life. If there's no life, everything is subject to the death urge, which is perfection. And once you've reached it, then what the fuck else are you going to do? You get to the top of the mountain, you're like, all right, cool. What's next? Oh, shit. Sliding down the mountaintop. So there is no... You know, the little peaks and valleys that we participate in, you know, don't think there's some absolute peak. There's no absolute anything, and that allows for a universe to exist, which is, as Sonos Logos put, the conscious light. The conscious light is to like, well, there's a little, I can go over there too. I can go around this little corner. We can shave this off. We can adjust this. We can. And move on and make more of an adventure. Jennifer Bowman, beliefs are powerful and unfalsifiable. I like that. That's unfalsifiable is a fun word. That's it's kind of when people use words that to unfalsify, I would say truth. To un is to take away and to false is to make it, so it's a double negative word. Just say, but beliefs are powerful and truth, right? Yeah, Jennifer Bowman, you say you know that the planet is alive and your intelligence is an extension of hers. Yeah. You know, as long as we both, and when we say him and her or his and hers, we don't become this like, you know, gushing over, it's Mother Earth and everything's the Black Mother, and you know that principle is great and all, But people get, that's what happens because so many people have been focused on patriarchy and focused on a concept of the fatherly figure that the motherly figure got buried, as it were. And so what people, now need to do is they need to prop up and go, no, this the Mother Earth is everything. And this is where feminism, the bad parts of feminism, because there's a fucking shit ton of it. Feminism might as well be the KKK. I mean, it's the same thing, or any other like religious extremist group that pushes things to it balances things to have those people that are completely out of their fucking mind, but it also pushes this agenda towards like you say I know that the planet is alive and my intelligent extension of hers, as if like right there you disassociate yourself. You say my intelligence is an extension of hers, as if you're outside of it. It's hers, not yours, and that's an untruth in itself. But then you have this. Now you have this powerful mother figure, so you need mama, right? You say the planet is mama, so it's hers. Look into Nature Boy Elagio. He got into this, everything is hers. It's the mother planet Earth and the black mother and all well and good, but you disassociate from father figure. So, and that is that magnetic electric balance to things. It just don't go too far in one direction. What up, peoples? What up, Glitter Kid? Yeah, I know. I don't know. Jennifer Bowman. I don't know. Apposition. Apposition. Is that a person? I'll look it up. The Plemora. The Pleroma. I'll check that out. Majida Mosu. Can urine therapy help eye problems? Yeah, of course. Um, do eye cupping. Put urine in your eye. It'll definitely help clean up what it depends on what it depends on what the blindness is caused by. If you have it could be neurological deeper, it could be what's behind the eyeballs, it could be things that are kind of like a substance that is coating the front of the eye. I mean, it'll take different ways of getting rid of it. Like, any increasing the amount of water in the system is never a bad idea, and using a cleansing thing such as urine is obviously a good idea too. So, re-ingesting the urine and putting it in the eye is a good idea, for sure. Yeah, don't use the age stuff in the eye unless you're cutting it really, really like that you build up to that to seeing if it's going to help you. It's kind of like you'd never do a shot of 100 proof or 200 proof alcohol. It would just be it would burn too much, right? So you cut it down. It's you just cut it in the same way. So if you're using aged urine, because I'm back here at um Unstance's or Brandon Esteban's comment. Yeah, be careful with the aged urine. Yeah, the aged urine is only use it in small quantities. What up, Unstance? Yeah, Jennifer Bowman. I get that's interesting. You said she and then sent out the spiral arms of the galaxy. Like right there, that to me, for where I am in my journey, it's hard for me to buy into those kind of concepts because I don't think we're in some sort of galaxy. I don't think that. I think there's a lot of people out here that go they have these really wonderful, luxurious, amazing stories, and the NASA has a great story they're selling, and these old witches they have great stories they're selling. But when I actually use my skills as a human, I was given a certain set of capacities to observe reality, and I look out around me and I say, well, I'm inside of it seems like there's a sun there and a moon there, and there's no galaxy per se. There's, there's these portals and light things out there, but no, this Earth is flat. We're not spinning through some galaxy. So when someone says galaxy to me, I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about, because you don't know what the galaxy is. You've never been in the galaxy. Galaxy is science fiction. It's a bunch of scientists in NASA and Hollywood telling a fancy story that actually has no value, no meaning, and it's to me that's the problem with the universe. If there is a universe, is people go, yeah, the spiral arms of the galaxy, and here's how this works, and here's the Pleiades, and then I go, well, here, use this P9000 camera and go look at those stars. They're just lights. There's no galaxy out there. We're not spinning through space. So it's a fun story, but it happens to not be true. Or then again, back to the beginning, the philosophy of Gnosis. It seems, as far as I can tell, to be closer to absolutely untrue that we are in any kind of spiral arm of any galaxy. Because as far as I can tell, I am all that exists. And the galaxy is just a concept or a creation of people's paranoia and mental algorithms that say, well, there's got to be something out there. There's got to be something beyond me. Well, it's not just the Earth. It's not just me. Wait, no, fuck it. Fuck it. It was God that did it. Oh, fuck it. It was the goddess that did it. No, shit. Here, Jesus, take the wheel. Here, heliocentric model, sun model, take the wheel. I got to take a nap. Mike Miller, can I comment on sediment in urine fasting? People be talking about this shit. I never experienced it myself, so I can't really, man. The only people that ever speak about sediment in urine are people that always ask about dry fasting, and dry fasting is not for the faint of heart, or nor people that have not cleansed to the point where they're actually ingesting the water from the air and breathing properly and living in an environment, i.e. not the city. You have to be out there in nature. So there's not too many people that should be dry fasting, and there shouldn't. I don't even know how you could have sediment in your urine. It seems unhealthy to me, but I can't. I won't go too deep on that because I don't know. Yeah, Brandon Esteban. Yeah, swimming glasses. That's a good idea right there, man. Yeah, that's a great idea. Blink a lot. Yeah, that's a brilliant idea. John Shore in the movie, there's a guy, Eyeball Paul, who did vodka shots in the eye. It's kind of like people putting LSD in the eye, right? Glitter K, what do I think about Neville Goddard? I think Neville Goddard. I've met Neville Goddard. In a dream, perhaps. I did a video called "I Met Neville Goddard," and it was about a dream that was so vivid that I can't, like, right now I don't remember completely. But was I out of body? Was it subconscious? It seemed like it was out of body. But yeah, Neville Goddard, one of my favorites for sure. The way he explains it, really, really good. Yeah, and Jennifer Bowman, Mandela effect is a mandala effect, right? So because a Mandela, Nelson Mandela is a mandala. A mandala is a point of focus. A mandala is we're creating from here. So somebody took his name and used it to, like, fold in on the concept in your mind, because they say, look at the Mandela. Or is it the mandala? Oh, wait, it's a mandala. Nelson Mandela? Oh, there's an effect about Nelson Mandela. And all of a sudden, your point of reference and focus is Nelson Mandela. But that's not the thing. You're supposed to be focused on a mandala. meaning create your own universe because it can be anything. That's the trick. Is create your time clock. Look at the Mayan clock, how amazing it is. You can't even really consider how perfected their clock was, because when you look at it, you can't understand the symbology. So it's like, whoa, that's intense. And so you're like, no, that time, what, that's a calendar? I don't understand that. You look at a calendar and I got January, February, March, April, May, June, July, and August, man. That's all right there. It's 7 days a week, just about 30 days in a month, and it makes sense to you. And you look at their clock, their calendar, which is a mandala, and you go, oh, that's confusing. But if you understood what a mandala is basically it's like the point of a bullseye or a target. It's the symbol that target uses. It's a circle. It's a monad, and monad is a mandala. And the sun symbol is a monad, which is a mandala, which is your center of focus of your consciousness that creates time. It creates your reality. It's something for you to go, that's what I'm looking at, and this is how I'm creating reality. And they created reality with their clock. They locked someone into the time of what the Mayans were looking at versus what the average American's looking at versus somebody that uses the Hebrew calendar. It's the year 3065 or something, right? Most people forget. They say, oh, it's 2000 and whatever, 2018. Is this what it is for you people? Do you know how many other calendars exist? Some people are living in 3019 right now. Some people are living in 100 BC. I mean, but even not even BC, just like some people are living in 0. Some people are living in, you just happen to be so focused on your calendar and your system of comprehension of the way that you think events are supposed to, unfold in the technological world of the prison of time frame called the calendar system that you're using, which happens to be for most people a Gregorian calendar and an English alphabet. And so you're stuck in that. But somebody else is using a different mandala. So the Mandela effect is actually to create your own mandala. Hopefully that was fun for everybody. Jennifer Bowman, I was surprised to have brought some things you touched that you've never heard before, but you seem intent on rejecting it. No, I'm not rejecting it. I'm including it. Yeah, I do. I'll check it. I'll check out the fallen goddess scenario, and I have. I've researched the fallen god, the fallen goddess, the goddess that was resurrected, and the god that was resurrected. They all make sense to me. I'm just saying people go too far in one direction. So, I get a Christian on here that'd be telling me to research the fallen god complex. Then I get a feminist, they'll be like, research the goddess complex. And then I get somebody that likes playing video games. They're going to be like, hey, check out the hero game that everybody's playing. And it goes back and forth. And so, yeah. I mean, I dig it. JLL, he coined the term archons. I really, really, really doubt that. Like right off, because archons is very old, ancient. JLL coined the term. See, like right off the bat, like I feel like that's kind of like, I don't know. I don't think so. I'll look into it, but I think the term archons go back pretty ancient. Unless I'm just see, again, for me to talk to people when they're typing and I'm talking, there's a miscommunication oftentimes. And I'm a little behind here, I think, like 4:35 for... Oh, Glitter Kid, my tarot reading 6 months ago was correct, by the way. That's awesome. Thank you, Majida. Is the precession of the equinoxes a hoax? Do the constellations rotate 1 degree every 72 years? I don't know. That's that simple, man. I don't play. I don't. If it will take me 72 years to know that. It would take me 72 years of actually putting a telescope outside of my window and living in the same spot and studying and observing every single star in the sky. And that no one's capable of doing, and no one has ever done it. So I don't know, man. Although it seems like it's conceptual. Like this. When I say it's conceptual, it's someone you'd have to be alive and with that intention of studying the stars for many 360 times 72. Do that math. That's how long you'd have to be alive and to know that. Because 360 degrees are in the circle, right? So you'd have to have one person, one Archon that had studied that somehow figured it out and wrote it down. Might it be true? Yeah, it might be. But even to notice a 1 degree change in the sky over 72 years, you're either believing something outside of yourself or you've been alive for a long time to even know that. Does that make sense that you can't know that? Because does anybody got any pictures from 72 years ago? Okay, if you got pictures from 72 years ago, can you verify where those things were in the sky? And then I'm like, oh man, are we going to go back to like 1000 BC? And then we'll do, okay, that math. Okay, that 1000 BC, is that far enough back? That would have been like 70 or 80 degrees change in the... So did then, can you show me some? No, they don't. They got some drawings that they did on some things. And so see, we get in this position where we can look out and we can see that the stars have specific spots in the sky that have obviously put upon us certain types of energies while we were in the womb. We can verify this. We can look at it and see right now, and I can, tomorrow go out in the sky and find out those stars are in a pretty similar position, and so we could go, oh, here we are. I've got this, but we can't do it for more than our lifetime. You can't verify it. And so that's why I think most people back to the philosophy. That's just as much as I appreciate and understand and go, yeah, astrology is real, I'm still kind of relying on the fact that there's a bunch of other people that are looking at it. I'm saying, well, I trust your set of understandings. I trust you as a human being. And what you say about the stars is true. Yeah, I haven't looked at it that close, but you seem like a good person that wouldn't bullshit about that. That's where we all sit. Steve P, liquid fasting, man. Oh, yeah. Jennifer Bowman, I didn't think you were a feminist either. What up, MK? Uh, I almost lost you, but I won you back. Phew! Won the goddess back. Mike Miller, how did I get into all this shit? I don't know, man. I had to do, your mind goes in a million different ways, and you go, where is this trail of my mind leading me? And then you think about it. That's how I got into all this shit. I decided, I was like, oh, how does this mind work? How does this work? I don't know. Probably something to do with being interested in the universe, being interested in myself, being interested in other people, being interested in how the fuck does this shit work? That's how I got into this. Yeah, then the Archons and the commodity, right on. Oh, okay. I hear you, Jen Bowman. What up, Shania?
What is Gnosis? It has to do with your nose and smelling and having some sort of wisdom. Yeah, having some sort of. That's what it is. That's my knowledge. Gnosis and knowledge are very similar. You can kind of see my silhouette now, Jennifer Bowman. You already come on. You've been on my show before. You already know what I look like. And silhouette. I think that's correct. I don't. I'm not a great speller either, but I think silhouette is correct there. Well, thank you that I look peachy and monochrome, Steve P. Is it 3 a.m. in my universe? I think it's almost 5 o'clock. Yeah, 4:40. Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna pick. Now Steve P. There you go. You got me picking my nose. There it is. Was that a pun or a joke? No, it was absolutely true. The question you asked, what does Gnosis? Gnosis is nose. I've said this a few times. The nose knows Gnosis. Knowledge comes from the nose. Nose is, do you know something? To know something is to smell something. Because the nose does not lie. Your eyes can lie. Your ears, you can mishear things. How many times you had arguments with people? You can misconstrue things. You can misconstrue things because you didn't hear all of the information. You didn't, when people are communicating, they're communicating with their senses, right? And the key word there is sense. Your sense or your senses. So when you're communicating with your eyes, you can get tricked. Somebody's sleight of hand. They're like you, so you can be deceived by the eyes, and you can be deceived by what you hear, because it's going through a filtering mechanism, which happens to be your ears have to go through this thing into your brain and kind of cross over here in your eyes, or they're flipping things upside down and backwards, and what you taste isn't always correct. It's kind of like but your nose, there's no filter. You know right away. So the nose knows Gnosis. The knowledge of the world comes through what you can smell. Because there's no filter. It goes directly to the brain. It says, here, this is what it is. You would never eat a piece of shit because you'd smell it. If somebody gave you a piece of cake that smelled like cake, that looked like a piece of shit, like somebody was like, they build a little, they make you a chocolate brownie, but they, instead of brownies in a pan, they kind of mush it up like a turd. Your eyes would be like, that's a turd, that's gross. But then you'd smell it and you go, oh, that's a brownie. And you'd put it in your mouth and you'd eat it. Because your nose wouldn't lie to you. But if it was actually, you could take shit, you could take a turd and put it in a pan and make it look like brownies, but you'd smell it and you'd be like, oh, that's shit. I'm not eating that. See? So your eyes deceived you. But your nose didn't. Your nose won't deceive you. Does that make sense? Liquid fasting, you mean just urine or plus distilled water? How many days fasting before you start seeing Gary Solid kidney? Enlighten me, thanks. Magita, liquid fasting. I don't want to get into fasting right now. That's not on my mind at all. Look into all my other videos. I've done probably 20 videos on fasting, so just look those up. Jennifer Bowman, you're burning Palo Santo. I'll go burn my Palo Santo. I think I have some over here. Oh, Jennifer Bowman, I didn't mean to butt hurt you. That was I'm glad I'm glad you got through that little pain point or whatever. I don't was not attempting to butt hurt you. Jan's Chunaman, Jan Shaman. Yeah, I'll check it out. The turd brownies. There we go. Back to the turd brownies, Jennifer Bowman. What up, Samo? Jennifer, you're cancer. I don't know too many cancers in person. I don't. Which do you, Jennifer Bowman? Do you know what sign I am? Would it make sense? I mean, do you know astrology like that? Do you already know which one I am? And I'll tell you in a second if you don't know. I think most other people here know which one I am. Daily stretching, Shania. I think stretching and yoga. It's like look at an animal. I start with the concept of do what an animal does. Do you see these animals out here doing an entire day worth of aerobics and yoga and stretching? Yeah, it's occasionally they'll do stretches. They wake up in the morning, they go through a couple poses, and they're good. And then they're willing. Then they're just capable of being all day, right? But you see, the stretching has to do with. I'm going to go a little deeper here for you for a second. The reason people do yoga and need to do stretching is because their diet is wrong. So, if you were breathing properly, and let's say this, if you were after you did urine therapy for a little while, if you were to drink, or just do a water fast, but especially if you were to use your urine, you'd become way more flexible. You'd put the urea back in your system, and you'd just because you're becoming less material. Let's use the word material, because if you eat, you're consuming a dense physical world, which you become part of. So you become decayed, and as people get old and they age and they end up dying, and what they've done is they've eaten themselves to death. They've put so much density into their body that their spirit had to leave because there was no room for the spirit because the density got in the way. So if you go to the route of liquiditarian and then onto breatharianism, this kind of idea and concept is it increases flexibility just because water is more flexible than earth, and air is more flexible than water. It's a simple concept. And so your body would be doing the same thing. So when you look into nature, what you see is animals that are very flexible. Look at the wildcat. Look at the lion, the tiger. How flexible and malleable, and how they move, and they're sleek, and they slither, and they're snake-like through their environment because they're not eating a lot. And when they eat, it's fresh, it's raw, it's, even though it's blood, right? They're participating with things that there's no practice of yoga for them because their life is already yoga. They're already yoked to the spirit of what they are. So their flexibility and mobility is already there. The only people that really need to go and do yogic practices are people that eat wrong. When I say wrong, I don't mean like good. It's just there's a level. It's not good, bad, indifferent. It's like good, better, best. And if you have a diet that's poor or not so good, then you create more inflexibility in your being. Does that make sense? But stretching is a good idea, though. Like, obviously, like I'm gonna wake up in the morning like, oh, what did I do yesterday? Oh man, I ate all this garbage, and get this out of my. And what you're doing, just like massage, right? You're just pushing things through. What I love Savan's idea. He goes brute force method, and which is to actually put your energy and your physicality to move something around your body. So you're pushing blood and you're pushing things through your system because you're not viscous. Viscous is the word, viscosity. So you want thinner blood. And thinner blood moves more energy. So we would just use our physical body to move something. So we get up in the morning and we're like, oh, how much should I eat? What am I doing? I'm going to stretch. Oh, morning, yawning. Oh, get those cracks out. Get all that out, right? But if you eat right, you don't need all that. Oh, so Jennifer Bowman, you knew that I was a Gemini just because, or you've watched my other videos? That's fucking amazing. If you didn't know that because of my other videos, you are absolutely correct. Everybody's stretching and burning incense. I'll go and I'll crack open the incense in a second here. I already burned some other incense though. Some other temple incense. Oh, Jan Schunemann. Okay, cool. I thought that's what it was to begin with. Yeah. All right, Jennifer Bowman, I'll check that out. So I guess you would know then Santos Bonacci and all that, yeah? And the 144, do you know about any of my connection to the number 144? I've done a few videos on it. 144 is an incredibly interesting number to me. Every time I'll give you the shortened version. Not only was that the house that I was born in, that was the number. When I fast, whenever I get down to my there's my lowest weight, it's 144.4 pounds. Every single time. I have pictures of it where the last urine fast I did, 5 days straight, I'd get on the scale, digital scale, 144.4 pounds. Every single time. Oh, Tama, you've been looking at absinthe. Absinthe is great stuff. And if I haven't told you before, I'll just give you a little pointer with the absinthe. Depending on where you're from, you're not getting proper absinthe in the Americas. I don't know about South America, but I know North America, you're not. What you can do always is order yourself some wormwood so you can get the thujone out of it. So you can take absinthe or you can take just vodka and you can put the wormwood, it's a root, into it and just extract out the element from the wormwood, which will give you a very similar flavor and give you the thujone, which is the substance that makes absinthe what it is. Can you pretend that you're psychic, Jennifer Bowman? No, you don't have to pretend. You actually are psychic. I've come across some. I've had some weird situations in the last 3 days that you know. I mean, I have crazy situations all the time, which is like synchronicity and all that stuff. Where he's like, well, and this is who I'm meeting tonight. This is what's going on. Oh, awesome. This is this is fun, and so yeah, you definitely are psychic. And women tend to be more psychic too. Cancer women, yeah, Cancer woman is up there in the psychic scale of how psychic are you? Yeah, for sure. Oh, and the 144 goes way deeper. You should look into my other videos. The 144 is just really insane for me. 40, like even triple digit numbers. If I leave my house to go somewhere, there's 100% chance that I'll see a license plate. The only license plate that I'll look at will have triple digits, and I'll probably see 3 or 4. I'm talking like I could ride my bike for a mile and I'll see triple digits. And it's not like I'm not like biking down the street like Hey, let me look at every house number. Hey, let me look at every license plate. It literally would just show up everywhere. And Santos Bonacci is awesome. So if you know he's the dude when it comes to things related to astrology. That's he's the highest level stuff out there right now. What up, Stephen Co? Ah, Shania, you said you watched something about Zodiac and the Cancer is the third eye. Interesting. Interesting. I did not know that. Cancer is what month? Because you would think about it in the sense of, back to Santos Bonacci real quick. When you plot it out, it's an ebb and a flow. There's a trough and a valley. There's the way that it looks if you're looking like sidereal, right? From left to right, from January to December, you would go up and then it would loop down. Is Cancer the top of that? Is it the third month in? Do you understand what I'm saying? It would be like if you took a straight line and then you were to make a bubble in the top and a bubble in the bottom, you'd have 6 months in that arc there. Do you know what I'm talking about? Oh, so you're in Australia. You get all right levels of Thujone. Yeah, just do get the wormwood, dude. That's the way to go. Uh, Jennifer Bowman, my Chinese sign. I think I'm a goat in Chinese astrology. I think that's what it is. I'm not really sure, but I've looked it up before. I think that's right. Take care, John Shore. Enjoy your holotropic breath work, man. What up, Ripe Soul? Uh, of course, colonics are a great idea. Wiki man, I'll check out your email. I have a bunch of I got a bunch of emails I got to go through, so I'll try to catch you this weekend. Yeah, I mean, yeah, John, sure. The Santos does too much salt, though. Yeah, when people, yeah, they're missing the major. I think the major thing is people get so addicted to the word and the knowledge that they bypass the living system. So I think this is why his hair got gray real quick. He got real old real quick, and I thought he knew. I really thought he knew about the urine therapy. I had, maybe I seen it. Maybe I was just hoping it happened. But I thought him and Andrew Norton Weber did a video together, and I thought he was like really big on the urine therapy for a second. But I mean, it's that salt thing that is the part of the dead, decayed, like ancient, like ancient's not the right word, but just the dead, decayed world, right? And when people start go, okay, you got to have your cell salts. Look, but the cell salts were living. The cell salts came from a living system. The cell salts came from an orange is living not because it is the dead things. It's living because of the energy in it, and your body is energetic. And everyone goes, oh no, you need the cell salts. Well, no, that's what happens when you burn the body. That's what's left over. That's not what you're made of. If that's what you think you are, then there you sit as salts. Because that's how they figured out what the body was, right? They burned the body, and there was 12 salts, which are connected to the 12 signs of the zodiac. Now, this is perfectly fine, but that's not what you are. That's what's left over. What you are is the thing that animates that stuff. And what animates that stuff, if that shit's there in you and that's what you are when you die, then you weren't lacking anything. You don't need more of that. If you want to get back to being that, then go ahead and eat more salt. You'll die quicker. Stephen Co., what can you do about a knee that hurts? Runner's knee from the hip to the knee? Oh man. Um, I would probably say celery would be, getting to the salt thing. Celery is probably what you're looking for because it's good for the bones and the living system. So celery might be what you're looking for. Hey, Ripesol, you're on day 12 of your fast. Are you doing water and urine? Or are you just doing water, or what are you doing? Are you doing juices? What's your fast right now, man? Yeah, if you got a problem in the knee versus the bone, so Tomo and Steve Cohen, if your knee hurts, that's the difference between a joint and the bone itself hurting, that's two wildly different things. But if you have a problem with the knee and the joint, you have a blood issue, and if the blood issue is probably, the blood is causing maybe tendon issues. So it's hard to specify, but everything starts with blood. If it's a tendon, a lot of these things, turmeric and root vegetables are going to help because it's going to clean the blood. Turmeric is brilliant because turmeric and ginger, they're very similar looking. They're both good for the stomach, and they're both good for the blood, and they're both good for heating up and heating up the system and making, how to put it, swelling and things like this. So it just universally, root vegetables are good for cleansing. So getting back to that, so you're probably, again, this is saying like if you can't specify if it's a tendon or a ligament or a bone, or is it if you can't specify, I would start with cleaning the blood. Because downstream from that is the blood building the bone, blood building the tendons, blood is doing all of the work. So if you can clean that, clean your bowels, then clean your blood. That's always the right choice. Oh, okay, Jennifer. Cancer is after Gemini. Right on. Oh, Jennifer, do you know when I was? Do you know? So, I'm a sheep. Is this what you're saying? How'd you know I was born in '79, Jennifer Bowman? Or are you just guessing? Oh, you doing water and urine? That's awesome. Ripe soul, wicked man. Water and urine on day 12, man. That's your side. Is that no? You feel like you're 12, and you're on day 12. Awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Good stuff. Jan Shinneman, have I thought about writing a book? Yeah, I've started writing a book many times, and I get maybe like 40 or 50 pages into writing, and I just find that I become like it would end up being too long, and then I find more information, and then I go, oh man, I gotta add this, and it's just it's an I'm more interested in the living book than an actual physical dead book. It's It's like they say the diary. The diary is the dowry, and the dowry is diarrhea. It's all shitty. It doesn't. It doesn't really. It's all like, to put something, to write something down. I would already feel like I'm ruining something because I'd have to cut a tree down to write on a dead piece of paper with the ink of the pen. Whenever I play that game, I get into it. I'm like, do I really want to go write a book? But I've talked to other people like, yeah, if you want to write a book on what I'm talking about, I'll dictate it all to you, whatever you want to know. You want to figure out 40 chapters of shit that you want to know about, feel free. You can use my information. I don't care. Just, bless me with a little bit of that currency. That's all. Jennifer Bowman, we do. You're already on the dark side. See, it's already black in the room. Ripe Soul, what's up? You said how long should it take for you to correctly break a fast? I mean, you know, a spoonful of watermelon every 2 hours. I mean, you don't got to get too wild with it, man. You know, it's always changing the densities. That's the point. When you're fasting on water or urine or whatever, getting back into eating is just slowly getting back into density, which is you would do like a soup and you would drink the liquid from the soup and then you would, you know, after a couple of days start eating the stock, you know, the vegetables out of the soup. So you know, it's not like, oh, I can only have a spoonful of watermelon. No, you could drink watermelon juice. I broke my 43-day fast with a smoothie made out of you know, coconut water, watermelon, pineapple juice, etc., etc. Um, so yeah, you just want to densify the liquid. You'll know what you need to do. Like just don't overdo it, you know? And how long should it take to like actually get to solid food? Probably like 3, 4 days. Depends on when you break it. Like 2 weeks. You could probably 2 weeks. It'd probably only take you 2 days to get back on solid food. Yeah, you've broken your previous fast day dangerously. Yeah. Oh yeah. I almost killed myself on my fast. I went back to solid food way too quickly, basically what you're doing, you're just overburdening your organs. If you eat too much, your organs are like, dude, what are you doing? You don't need this food. So, you know, getting back into solid foods, you'd be smart to just under consume. Don't listen. Don't get too, you know, realize what nutrition is. You don't have to go completely back to fully eating what you used to. The point of fasting is to get back to consuming less. So less is more. Beetroot in a juice is good. Beets are for blood cleansing. Potatoes, beets are good for your heart. This is why it's called the heartbeat. A beet looks like the heart. And funny enough, I've been talking about Tom Robbins. He talks about beats and the signal. What they are is one of my favorite books ever. He talks about what the beat is, and there's it's they go read Tom Robbins books. Do that. That'll be good for you. But beats are good. Well, thanks, Jan Schuneman. I appreciate that. And Jennifer Bowman, of course, you can inject some femininity into this for sure. I mean, Tom Robbins, a novelist. This is correct. When you do Ornanimus, is it okay to not wash out the bag? Is that gonna build up bacteria? Yeah, wash the bag, man. You're definitely gonna build up bacteria. Cause yeah, wash the bag. Mike Miller, out of nowhere, ass man or tit man? Are you asking about people? Like, do I know those people? Yeah, like night man or day man, ass man or tit man? I don't know. I'm, I'm, I don't. It's not like either or. I think most people have both. everyone, everyone poops. Everyone's got an ass and everybody's got titties. Everybody's got nipples, right? I go for all of them. I'm gonna take the road less traveled here, Bob. Alex, I'm gonna take tits and ass for 1,000. How's that? Ripe soul, just clean it out with hydrogen peroxide. Oh, you've read Still Life of the Woodpecker. I've never read it. But his his autobiography he did is pretty amazing too. It's starting to get kind of light in here. It's almost the AM. Let's see, what are we looking at here? 5 o'clock. Cool. Well, y'all, this is kind of winding down into it's kind of burning the candle at both ends at this point, huh? Oh, Jennifer Bowman. Yeah, I'll probably get off here in a second. I wasn't staying up to entertain y'all. No, actually, kind of a little bit. I just had a little bit of energy and was trying to get back to sleep, but I thought I'd jump on here real quick. I had a couple weird thoughts. So, what's up? What's up, Radical Thought? Oh, I see you hit me up on the email, man. I'll get back to you. So I'm going to crash this car into this couch right now, and I'll talk to y'all soon. It was fun. Good to see you, Jennifer Bowman, and Tomo, and everybody else. Stay well, do cool things, inspire the world, and if you can't do that, at least sleep well. And for whoever comes here in the future, or for all of you weirdos now, if you want to, feel free to donate to me some of your leftovers from dinner, or any lint you have in your pocket. Feel free. We'll talk soon. Cheers.